5 long years, and now loved ones are finally getting some answers. The 3 men accused of murdering a mother, father, and 2 16-year-old boys back in 2017 in Kitsap County appeared in court for the first time since their arrest. Authorities arrested all 3 men Monday and held each of them on a $20 million bail.
But today, a judge made a change, meaning those suspects will no longer be able to bond out for any amount of money. Fox 13 News anchor David Rose was inside the courtroom. And David, you were there when those suspects first appeared.
Yeah, Matt and Jamie, they is just elated today. Family members telling me that this is a super day. Just so happy they were able to finally see these 3 suspects in court. Bobby Watson coming in first, followed by his brother Johnny Watson, and then followed up by Danny Kelly. The 3 main suspect detectives say accused in this horrific murder that happened back in January of 2017. You can almost feel the temperature drop in the courtroom as they came in. Everything was quiet, family members staying mostly quiet, one blurting out in an emotional utterance that watch out, the Mexicans are going to be coming for you. You better be in protective custody. Maybe a reference to the alleged drug dealing that Johnny was supposedly involved in with Bobby, one of the main suspects. I asked, is Bobby the mastermind of these murders? Detectives saying, yes, they think he is. However, there are still so many questions to be answered. For example, Johnny was last seen at his house on the Friday night in January, but he wasn't discovered dead in his truck, shot in the back of his head, until 2 days later. I asked detectives about that at the news conference today as we try to piece together this timeline.
As you work through a timeline of the investigation and looking through the docs, it still appears that there is a mystery as to where Johnny's truck was from Friday and where he was until it was found Sunday at the tree farm. Is that still a key piece of evidence or information that you need help with?
Absolutely. We know that there's another crime scene somewhere. We know that there's more people that are either involved or have information. And so the crime happened on a Friday night, and we did not find the truck until Sunday afternoon. But we found it on that rural tree farm on Sunday afternoon. However, on Saturday afternoon, a caretaker of that tree farm had been on the property and that truck wasn't there. So we do know that Johnny and the truck were held somewhere in either the Seabeck area or North Mason area before being transported to the Seabeck or to that tree farm area.
So detectives are hoping they get more tips from people who might have been scared to come forward before, but now are willing to talk because the 3 suspects are being held without bond. Detectives have done such intensive work on this case, including purchasing 2 trucks and setting those trucks on fire in an effort to detail the science of whether the doors were open or closed on the truck, looking at the burn pattern. Anything at all that could push this forward so they could get these arrests. 3 suspects again in custody. And Jamie and Matt, I can tell you, detectives are also elated that this case, at least this phase of it, has come to a close.
Well, David, this case stretches back 5 years. Yesterday, you talked a lot with the families. I'm also wondering now that you're talking to investigators more, what kind of a toll does this all take on them?
Well, I talked at length a short while ago with Detective Sergeant Lisa Gundrum, who has been on this case exclusively. It's the only case she had over the last 5 years. And she says it has taken a toll on her and on the department, but she credits her department for allowing her to stay focused on this and the other detectives picking up the slack on all the other cases that were going on, knowing that they would make an arrest in this eventually. But like a lot of things, COVID dragged things down. They couldn't serve search warrants in person. So the case really stagnated. They were able to pick it back up, knowing they can seat a jury and bring these suspects into custody. They also really had a detailed operation to arrest all 3 suspects within about 5 hours and bring them into custody safely, knowing that they were dangerous men accused of killing young teenage boys, just slaughtering them in cold blood only because those 2 boys and their mother were witnesses. So detectives, they deserve a lot of credit for bringing some peace to this community, but they say they're not done yet, and they're really hoping to get the other people they say helped after the murders in custody as well. They call that rendering criminal assistance. They want tips on anybody else they think might have been involved in cleaning up or disposing of bodies or any other information they might have in the aftermath of these murders. That's the very latest. I'll have much more for you coming up on 6, including reaction from the Careaga family who were in the courtroom today.
All right, and David, thank you so much. As he